You're listening to 107.9 FM The Berg. This is Fitness Friday, and I'm your host, Meg Boschin. My goal for this show is to bring light to one of the 4 pillars of fitness each week: mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. This week, I'll be focusing on the physical pillar. We'll be talking about diet and the role it plays in our physical fitness, our well-being. I own and operate the new yoga studio in town called AYAMA Club. It's been open now for 2 months and it's going great. We're building a community of like-minded yogis, all eager to eliminate their pain by optimizing the muscle function in their bodies. And I'm sorry to report, but as a culture, we are weak. We are just not as physical as we need to be to maintain this body. We have to supplement with planned exercise. And while exercise is absolutely necessary to the well-being of our bodies, there's a key factor that we struggle with even more: diet. I'm sorry to even say it. I know that word is such a trigger. So let's just say we struggle with the food we eat. And specifically, I'm talking about sugar. And now we know many people have all different kinds of food sensitivities these days. But the most universal, and I say universal because most of the time we don't even realize that what we're eating is sugar. For example, you may not think you have a sweet tooth because you don't like sweets per se, but you love bread and pasta. And because these foods turn into sugar in your body, you may suffer the same as if you ate a bowl of ice cream. The suffering I refer to is the pain caused by inflammation. It comes in all different shapes and sizes: belly pain, joint pain, headaches, and general malaise. That's sugar. Well, to be clear here, I am not a nutritionist or a doctor, but I do have a body, and I can speak firsthand at how I feel when I eat too much sugar. After 50 years, I've learned it all comes down to what we are choosing to fuel our bodies with. For example, we don't put water in our gas tanks and expect our cars to run, do we? I'm not wrong. But back to the point. AYAMA is a revolutionary new yogic method developed by my teacher, Yogi Aaron, to eliminate pain by optimizing muscle function. And now, a couple months in at AYAMA Club, I'm finding a lot of my members, including myself, still suffering from random aches and pains. And it really got me thinking, is AYAMA really the answer to our pain problem? Or is it diet? I know if I don't eliminate sugar or keep it drastically low, I suffer joint pain. It likes to move all over my body, popping up in an elbow, a hand, a finger, or my back from time to time. So I find myself wondering, how can I eliminate pain for other people if they haven't corrected their diet? So I reached out to Yogi Aaron and asked him what he thought about this. Here's his answer. Now, to your question about people with poor diets. All of that is creating more stress, which is having a negative impact on their neuromuscular system. That's even more reason to make sure that you're doing AYAMA with them, because that will help to start moving a lot of the inflammation out of their system. Always remember that muscles are what make the lymphatic system work. I'm going to repeat that. Always remember that muscles are what make the lymphatic system work. And the muscles are what are responsible for moving inflammation and lymph out of the system. I'll repeat that again too. The muscles are what are responsible for moving inflammation and lymph out of the system. So if the muscles aren't working properly, chronic inflammation can set in. There's absolutely no doubt that changing the diet will help tremendously. There are some interesting data points that if a person who's overweight loses just 10 pounds, morbid causality. Okay, I'm going to pause here for a second too. Remember, these are Yogi Aaron's words. So I had to look up morbid causality. I have never heard that before. So for anyone else out there listening who has also no clue What morbid causality means, I Googled it. In essence, morbid causality maps the journey from health to disease and ultimately the causes behind the decline in health or the occurrence of death. Yogi Aaron says there's data proving that losing just 10 pounds decreases morbid causality by 50%. So basically decreases your chances for disease. And Yogi Aaron goes on to say, even just losing a bit of weight, aka fat, will make a dramatic difference for sure. We have to start with what we've got. And AYAMA definitely starts to turn on muscles, which then start to move inflammation. And he also says, don't forget about the importance of proper rest as well. So that's Yogi Aaron's answer. I have to say, I'm satisfied with that. And it leads us right into next week's show about the importance of rest. That's going to be a great show with a very interesting perspective you won't want to miss. As for your pain and your diet, you heard it from Yogi Aaron. Your pain-free journey begins with AYAMA at AYAMA Club. What are you waiting for? You're listening to Fitness Friday on 107.9 FM The Berg. I'm your host, Meg Boschin. If you missed this episode, you can catch the replay today at 4:30. Pain is not your destiny. Check out AYAMA Club today. You belong here.